Hey guys, Wolfe Survival here, and today we're going to be talking about bags. Not the ones under your eyes, but bug out bags, get home bags, lone wolf pack, why haven't you called your mom lately bag, whatever you want to call it. But today we're going to talk about your essential survival bag. Okay, so when it comes to these bags, when you look in the, on YouTube or internet or whatever, everybody calls things different names. Essentially, the first time I heard bug out bag was right after 9/11, and we were developing these bags that basically, like, if your vehicle got hit and you had to get out of your vehicle in a hurry, you'd have, your additional comms and some food and ammo and stuff stuffed in these. We were calling them bug out bags. Now, they may go back to World War II for all I know, but the first time I remember started to hear the word bug out bag was probably 2001, 2002 time frame. But anyways, what I'm going to show you today is not necessarily a bug out bag, but something I call a get home bag. And I developed one of these for every single member of my family because in the event that, the spit hits the fan, unless you work from home or unless you're a hermit, chances are most of us are not going to be sitting at home when something happens. We're either going to be driving somewhere, we're going to be at work or school or on the road or whatever when something happens, and then we're going to have to probably get home to where we link up with our family. We have more of our supplies or a bigger bug out bag or something ready to where we can then move on to the next phase. But if you live in an area that's rather urban, and I would say if you live in an area where the population is more than, say, 100,000 people, you know that anytime there's an incident, trying to maneuver in a car is impossible. A lot of times there's gridlock and just traffic is backed up, and God forbid there's something like an EMP explosion or something like that nobody can move anywhere, then you're basically on foot to get home. Now, in a situation, so what I look at it as is not only, this isn't just for the can't talk, SHTF situation, but my family always also uses these for just preparedness and emergencies that they run into. So essentially what you can see, what I've got here in front of me, this is just a camelback, I think this is a camelback mule version on here. And you can see this is not it's not tactical looking. It looks like something a hiker would carry with them. It's very, this is going into the gray man philosophy. The reason why is if there's a lot of law enforcement or military or things are getting sketchy, the last thing I want my family to look like is some government official or some military person that may be a threat. So I went with very just this kind of a black camelback, like a sports looking thing, sports bag, and it's very small, and this just sits in the back of my family's car. Now this specific bag here is my 18-year-old daughter's bag, and so what you can see is some just essential things here. You've got a little bag, it's got a bunch of pockets in it, a water bladder to put and carry water in it. That's an important thing, is having water. And then I'm going to walk through some of these other things that I've got out here which go into the bag. Now you can see some of the first things here. This is just a Ziploc bag. It's got some cash in it. I think there's like $100 and some bucks in here, and some Bic lighters, the most important survival tool in the world, right? A good Bic lighter. So those are in there. Also, this little thing, I can't remember the name for it exactly, but this is, if you've ever been to industrial buildings, school buildings, anything like that, and you see a lot of times they have a spigot outside for water, but it requires this little like square key thing. Well, this is the little square key thing that will turn those spigots on so you can get water if you need to. Really, really handy for urban environments. Okay, the next thing we got here is a medical kit, and this is probably the one that gets used the most because there's times where you come up on a traffic accident or whatever, and this comes in handy. These medical kits I developed are tailored to the experience level of the person. So for my daughter, this is not going to have as much stuff as, say, somebody like me is going to have in it. But so this thing here, we'll pull it out and I'll show you just some of the stuff in it. I'll explain it to you in case you can't see, but on the left hand side of it here, this is just basic medical stuff. You've got ibuprofen, acetaminophen, that type of stuff. This is Benadryl and Pepsid AC. If somebody goes into anaphylactic shock, you use this for basically dealing with the anaphylactic shock until they can get to a medical facility, or at least buy them some time to where they can get to a medical facility and get an epinephrine shot. So there's some gauze, some tape, and over here, this little thing here, super glue. Why do you need super glue? Well, super glue is great for everything, right? Now, most of the time, if you ever worked in an emergency room or you talk to emergency medical personnel, a lot of cuts get taken care of with super glue. They simply super glue the cut back together, push it together, and then charge you a whole bunch of money for it. Now, they won't tell you that in the emergency room, but really what they're using is a medical grade super glue to be able to suture up some of your cuts. On this side, we've got a rat or cat or whatever you want to call it, tourniquet. This is basically a hemorrhage or Israeli dressing, whatever you want to call it. It basically has it's a bandage that has materials in it that help stop bleeding. For her, I've got these just basic waterproof bags, some bandages, some betadine wipes, things for disinfecting. Celox ribbon is what this is. This is basically hemostatic gauze as well. So if somebody's bleeding, you pack the wound with this stuff. It'll help stop the bleeding very quickly. So I mean, that's just, you know, basic stuff. And again, this is tailored to the level of my daughter. So, you know, this is all stuff that she knows how to use at her, you know, age. Very easy stuff that you could, you know, anybody can have, and it's really good to have in your kit. So the next thing, I got this little Maxpedition pouch, and this has just got a few essential things in there that, you know, if she has to walk home and abandon her car or walk home from work to get to our house or something, things she's going to want to have in there. First thing you can see in here, this is a Sawyer Mini water filter. Again, I really like the Sawyer Minis. I've used them all over the world. I've never had any issues with them. They're very small and compact, and they filter down to 0.1 micron. Over here you got just a multi-tool, so it's got, you know, everything you need on it for screwdrivers, pliers, extra knife, all that type of stuff. This is the straw for the Sawyer Mini. She's got a fire steel in here that also has a little compass built in. I don't know if that compass would actually, you'd want to navigate with that thing, but it's there for her, as well as a little whistle for signaling. This is a little Streamlight flashlight that she's got in there, that, you know, so she's got some sort of flashlight capability. And then the last thing is just a folding knife that's in here for her. So that's it, guys. I mean, that's real basic, small stuff. Everything fits into the Camelback, which she could then, you know, put on her back, and, you know, if she had to walk the few miles to get home to our house, where then she would link up with us and we move on to the next step. So that's just it, and that's basically, I put one of these in every single car of every person in our household. They all know it's there. They all know what the purpose of all this stuff is, and I always tell them, if anything happens, just pull out your kit. You've got your stuff right there. Real simple. This is, you know, practical everyday survival that you can have, and just for any environment, to be prepared for when something happens. And it gives you that insurance policy and that peace of mind for your family. So there you go, guys. Appreciate it. Love to hear your comments. Subscribe. Tell me what your opinion is. Tell me what you got in your kit. I've modified this kit. Some of the medical stuff I modified based on recommendations for you guys. So please tell me what you guys got in your kit. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.